Welcome back to another video. We'll be talking about the heavyweight division in the state because it is a little bit stale. But we do have we have two up and coming fights for the heavyweight division that could leave some openings for future fights in the heavyweight division. So the two fights that are happening in the heavyweight division that should be happening pretty soon. We have Sergey Pavlovich taking on Tai Tuivasa, and then we have Derek Lewis fighting Sergey Spivak. Now, currently, Francis Ngannou, the current champ, he's out on an injury, so we don't know when he's coming back. There's rumors of him coming back to fight John, but again, those are just rumors. We don't know when he's coming back. Probably sometime in December with a knee injury, but again, that's all speculation. Cyril Gane, second ranked guy, he's out on an injury. Curtis Blades, he ain't really doing anything because his opponent Tom Aspinall was injured, so. So now, since like the top four contenders are like out or whatever, so let's talk about the two fights that are currently going on in the heavyweight division and see what we have going on. So Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Spivak. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win between those two. I'm probably gonna go with Tai. I don't really know. This is kind of a hard fight to predict. But if Tai beats Sergey, uh, that should put him back on like the contender list because Tai Tuivasa did fight Cyril Gane and lose. So Cyril Gane is he is coming off of a loss, so he does need a win. So if he beats Sergey, he would. Uh, I think if Tai beats Sergey, I think he should fight Volkov. Because Volkov is right behind Sergey. They should have made Volkov in the first place. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they just went and made Tai and Sergey instead of Tai and Volkov. I was kind of a little shocked when that fight was announced. But I think not just for Tai, but even for Sergey Pavlovich too. I think they should both fight. Well, the winner of Tai Tuivasa and Sergey should fight Volkov. Now, I don't really think Sergey would fight Volkov only because they're both Russian. I know like there's a thing in the UFC where people from their other countries besides the United States or whatever, they don't really like fighting each other. Um, but I I still think that the winner, regardless of country or not, I still think that Tai Tuivasa and Sergey, the winner of that, should fight Volkov, who was ranked number 6. So yeah, that's the match to make after that. The winner of Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Pavlovich should fight Volkov. I think that would be pretty good. Um, Now I want to move on to Derek Lewis and Sergey Spivak. Talk about their fights. Derek Lewis, he's coming off of a loss, controversial loss against Sergey Pavlovich. So he's fighting rank number 11, Sergey Spivak. So I think I don't know. I think Sergey might beat Derek Lewis, and if Sergey beats Derek Lewis, that's gonna catapult him into like the top 8 and shit. So it's I've seen a couple of Sergey's fights. He's still relatively kind of new to the UFC. Um, so yeah, so if he beats Lewis, that would catapult him into the 8th division, like ranked number 8, and that means he'd be fighting tougher opponents. So I say if Sergey beats Lewis, I think the best fight for him. Uh, I don't want to go too up in the rankings, so it would have to be around someone who's around the 8th division. It can't be anybody above the 5. Maybe you could fight Ty. I don't know. You can maybe. I think that's a too big of a jump though. Like 11 to 5. That's. I think. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. So since Tai Tuivasa and Pavlich are fighting, I think if they do not do Volkov and Tai Tuivasa, which I think they absolutely should do after Sergey and Tai have their fight. But if they do not do Volkov and Tai, I think they should do if Sergey beats Derek Lewis, I think they should do Sergey and Volkov, who's ranked number 6, so he's not in that 5 spot yet. Sergey and Volkov, and Tai. See, I wouldn't. See, Derek Lewis and Tai have already fought together. That's why I'm kind of iffy on it. The only way I could see that fight being like entertaining and like a good fight to put on is if Derek Lewis goes out and like fucking knocks out Sergey and shit like that. And then gets a knockout victory, and then Tai Tuivasa knocks out Sergey or whatever. Like those two get like impressive wins or whatever. Actually, no. I'll take that back. The way I see the fight going is this actually makes a lot more sense now. The way I see them putting Tai and Lewis together is if Sergey beats Tai, and then if Sergey Pavlich beats Tai, and then Sergey Spivak beats Derek Lewis, I think they would put Derek Lewis and Tai together. I think if Lewis and Tai Tuivasa if they both lose their matches, I think they would put Lewis and Tai together. But then that means there would be an opening for Volkov to fight Sergey or Spivak. So Pavlich or Spivak. So I mean, either fight would be. I wouldn't mind seeing either fight. I think what would probably happen is Spivak would most likely fight Volkov only because he's not Russian like Pavlich, and like I do want to see Sergey Pavlich versus Alexander Volkov, but I do not think it's gonna happen because they're both from Russia. They have like that Russian bond. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I don't think it's gonna happen. But those are the fights that the UFC should be looking at to get the heavyweight division, spiced up again. Because really, the heavyweight division has been stale. So if the UFC, like Dana White, if they're trying to target heavyweight division, like fights and shit, I think these are the the perfect make sense fights that should be put on. I think, yeah, these fights make perfect sense. We should have some heavyweight fights going on between Tai, Volkov, and Spivak and Pavlich. Those are the heavyweights to be keeping your eye on right now and do something with, because they're already in active to fight. So do something with Tai, Volkov, Pavlich, and Spivak, because they're all fighting up. They're all contenders. They're all contending for the belt. So at UFC, at Dana White, if you're all trying to do any matchups for the heavyweight division, I think those are the good ones right there. Those are the good contenders. They're still hungry. They're ready for that belt. So there you go, right there. Those are the matchmakings. Those are the matches to keep an eye on for. Volkov, Tai, Pavlich, and Spivak. Do something with those guys. They're all hungry. They're all ready to fight. I want to see those those fights happen. Now, I know it's between those four. So if I had to come down, I know you can't like 4v4, like all four of them. So that's why if I had to come down to the two fights, I think the winner, I think if Ty beats Sergey, I think I want to see him in Volkov fight. I want to see Ty and Volkov fight if he beats Sergey. And then Sergey can fight Spivak or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's my little rant about the heavyweight division. It would be pretty lit if like if those actually came true. You know what I mean? Because those actually makes a lot of sense. And they're both contenders, and we don't really have a lot of contenders for the heavyweight division right now. Because Francis has beaten a lot of them. Because Francis has beaten Sirgan, he's beaten Curtis. You know, we need new contenders for the heavyweight division. That's what I'm trying to say. We need some fresh stuff besides fucking Sirgan. You know what I mean? Because he's the only one right now that I am seeing. You know, like that I'm seeing everybody talk about as a contender. I'm not really seeing anybody else talk about anybody else. The only other contender that they were talking about besides Sirgan was fucking Tom Aspinall, but he blew out his knee. And we need more contenders for the heavyweight division besides Sirgan. And he's out with an injury, so I think, you know, all these fights, you know, Tai Tuivasa, Volkov, Sergey Pavlovich, and Sergey Spivak, they're all contenders. These guys can make the division interesting again. You know what I mean? Besides just having Sirgan as the contender we need to keep an eye out for. But that's my opinion on heavyweight division. And those are the matches I think that should happen. So if you disagree, I don't know. I really don't know what to say if you disagree. Sorry, I guess too bad. But those are my opinions on heavyweight division. That's my rant.